Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Red Valkyrie Presents. I am Shae the Red, clad in my favorite color, as you can all see, because why wouldn't I be?
Purple.
What was that?
I said purple.
Purple. No, not purple.
Aww.
And of course, I'm here with Alex. How are you doing today?
I am awesome. Awesome. So
That's
awesome.
Such a lie.
It is a lie.
Chat.
It's all lies.
I was going to say there's this right here in the chat. Like, doing great, aren't you, Alex? Such a fibber.
So, just to throw this out here, I cracked a tooth several days ago, and in the last 24 hours, it has decided to start swelling on the side of my jaw. And the pain goes from manageable to horrific at a moment's notice. So yeah, I'm gonna apologize to our audience and especially our guest, and especially my co-host in advance if I seem to just nope out randomly. But yeah,
understandable.
Sometimes
right?
It's screaming pain and they can't get me in until Tuesday.
Gotta love
man.
it. Gotta love it. Yeah. It's been super fun. But speaking of our amazing guest, we are here with Mr. Dojo Kun Comics himself. How are you doing?
Hail Shae, hail CY.borg, Valkyrie. Thanks so much for having me on. I love that you had me back. When I was here for the first time, it was that the show that I sort of forced you to launch because I wasn't ready to launch the campaign. So you said, let's get a bunch of people on who just have signups. I appreciate you doing that for me.
Absolutely.
But yeah, having me back is awesome too. You guys rock.
Oh, thank you. Well, as last minute as throwing that together was, really liked the format and decided that that's going to be a continuing thing. The only thing that's been stopping us is I got pulled into random training, and that made it really hard to set up to have people on. But it will be coming back soon. My training ends by the end of the month, so while we may not have it in April, we'll definitely start it back up in May.
Awesome. It was fun.
Yes, it was so good. It's exhausting, but it's wonderful. Okay, so we're here for your first Indiegogo campaign, but not your first comic ever.
Right.
So this is for Siamese trade paperback. And before I have you go over and kind of give us the lowdown of exactly what this is, we're gonna watch the trailer because I hear it's worth watching.
Thank you. Yes.
From Dojo Kun Comics comes Siamese, the story of two Chinese-American college graduates whose deviation gene make them extraordinary enough to become superheroines. This trade paperback combines the 4-issue Siamese miniseries previously published by Dojo Kun Comics. As our ladies discover their newfound power, we'll be introduced to other Dojo Kun Comics characters such as the Countryman, Breathtaker, Brickhouse, the Scarlet Archer, and Psionica. Dojo Kun Comics has released over a dozen comics so far. You can pledge with confidence knowing that obligations will be fulfilled. Superheroes are coming back. Don't miss out on Siamese.
I'm just throwing it out there, but those sisters look really close at times.
They're very, very close to each other.
They are extremely close.
Fantastic. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this isn't like kind of your standard. This is 4 stories combined into one to kind of give you a feel of these characters in this universe.
That's right. Yeah, it's a 4-issue miniseries that's been previously published. So that also lends itself to letting you know that the book is done. I mean, all 4 of those issues have been published. This trade paperback, though, is so each of those is 22 pages. This trade paperback will be over 100 pages. And the reason it gets to that is there will be a behind-the-scenes concept art section, a fan art section, and a professional pinup section of Siamese.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that you've got kind of both sections. So you're like, we've got like the pros that, were most likely like paid for commission and all that kind of stuff. Then we have the fan art section of the people who just loved this and sent stuff in to show us how much they loved it.
Got some really great submissions already, too. I'm going to keep that open, by the way, for anyone else that would like to send a submission in, probably for at least the first 30 days. I'm thinking after that is when I'll close it up so that I have time to get it into the print files.
So you have 27 days left. I'm just saying, guys. That's, damn it. I always want to do fan art, and then I do it, and I'm like a little disappointed in myself. So
No,
we'll
do
see.
It. Send it. I'd love to see it.
We'll try. We're making no promises. No
Okay.
promises.
The 2 girls and the 2 main characters in Siamese. Well, it looks like a tree, Shae.
Just because I've done a lot of trees lately doesn't mean you got it. Damn it. All right. So.
But it's an Asian tree.
It's a bonsai. You want me to make a bonsai? You're terrible.
You
You're a horrible person.
Bringing it even in the pain.
Right?
Oh. Mo Biggs in the chat. 2 hand kitties. No, 2 hand turkeys side by side, touching at the thumbs. Yep.
Do them upside down so they can still be the M.
Oh,
Nice.
I hate everything that just happened there.
Well, yeah, they could be like on the ceiling. Yeah, like cat burglars. There you go.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with this suggestion. Okay. I'm gonna kick it back over to you so you can let us know why we should be back in this.
Okay, thank you. So the Dojo Kun universe is launched with this 4-issue miniseries. These are the 4 first comics that I published, and it's a connected superhero universe. So the characters that are introduced in this miniseries will go on to be in the next miniseries, which is Deanna Hammer of the Angels. And number 1 for that series is almost done. We're on page 19 of 22. And then that miniseries will lead into Trident's New Alliance, my ongoing team book. So I've got at least 7 scripts for that one written as well. So I'm in this for the long haul. I've got about 7 or 8 years worth of material already written. Oof. And the artists are working, I got 6 different projects in the works as we speak.
Jeez, that is a lot. That is crazy. Oh my goodness. But this is my favorite. If you haven't read this panel, I'm just saying, like, this page specific, read all the speech bubbles. It's worth it. It's worth it.
Thank you for that. Yeah, it's fun. And somebody's already asked me if those tales are real, and they are. If those tales are real, where are they keeping them? It's like, well, because comics. I mean, Warren Worthington III had his wings all mashed into a polo shirt, right? So they're just strategically tucked in there somewhere.
I'm just saying, those pants, I
feel like there's not a ton of room, but maybe that's why the butt is such a bubble butt, guys. Maybe it's just really creative tail stuffing, and that's what made it.
No, that's all ass. Don't spoil it. The ass sells it.
I'm sorry. I'm saying, like, maybe there's cuppage to, like, just help fill it out a little. I don't know.
Just tucked under her cheeks.
Exactly. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. It just doubles back. It's good.
Use your imaginations.
Whatever you need to do.
I'm just imagining this really awkward situation at TSA where she has her tail running down the front of her pants, and they're like, "Who do you want to search you, ma'am, sir?"
What are you the most comfortable with? And be like, you should probably just let me go. It would be best for all of us.
Yeah. No questions, please.
I love it. We got Andrew Sampina in the chat says, please don't tell me that the big booty girls are hiding tails. That it's only if you want to believe that they are. It's fine, guys. It's fine. We get tailgate.
Oh boy. Nice, K Manifesto.
It's so bad. Oh my gosh. I mean, they're gorgeous. So really, tail or no tail, you guys really care.
You know what? Speaking of the tails, that's the only thing that separates them as far as when they've got their costumes on. One is a white tail, one is a black tail. So the white tail is the older of the two. Her name is Kiao. And she is like the motherly one who sort of like takes care of her little sister, 10 minutes younger. Then the one with the black tail is Yao Ya. And her attitude is more like YOLO. And she's like, just loves being a superhero and jumps into battle. Thinks it's great when there's adventure, and the other one's like, oh, here we go.
The older one is the one holding her head and rolling her eyes right now,
yes,
right?
Exactly. Yep, you got it.
So it so shows. I don't know how when they're 10 minutes apart, but like she looks older, wiser, and less ready for her little sister's shit.
Thank you for noticing that. I appreciate it.
I mean, if look, gentlemen in the chat, if your woman gives you this face ever, just start apologizing. It doesn't matter if you know what you did. That face, that is the face of pure death coming your way soon if you do not fix your shit. So that is the best eye roll I think I've ever seen. It's like, she's just like, I just can't. Are we done yet? Oh, okay. I'm not talking about the tail anymore. You guys cannot be trusted.
Oh no.
Mo Big says the younger sister is so wild she turned her older sister's tail white from the stress of dealing with her.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh, that is amazing. Oh, that's all I'm gonna think of that because she just looks stressed. She's just so done. I'm digging this artwork. Everything's super dynamic, and I like them like jumping from tree to tree. And I've been in this moment where a cat has like lunged at me like this before. I had a cat that couldn't handle his catnip.
Oh,
we named him Angel because he had like little wings on his head, and we decided that was a mistake. He was a devil cat. So he should have been like Diablo, but
I mean, look at the guy from maybe it was 50s or 60s television that they called Curly, who was more like this.
Yeah,
it's ironic.
yeah. I've learned you never name an animal something like Angel because they will prove that they are the opposite. It's like they know
the irony of their name.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep,
it was horrible. Okay, so this is actually something I wanted to ask you about. What is happening?
They are werecats in that issue. And I can tell you without being too spoilery that that's against their will.
Okay. I've never seen a werecat that's actually made me kind of be like, damn, all right. But,
so
somehow I think it's the boobs.
Hail the boobs. But you know what? They also have a difference of opinion as to whether or not they should seek the antidote.
That interesting.
So the story plays out from there, I guess I'll say.
Okay.
Yeah, don't be a cat. That's all I'm gonna say. Bad life choice.
It says right here, be nice little pussy cats and put down the doctor. I don't think that's something you want to say to women ever, and to women who've recently turned into werecats. I feel like that's the wrong. That's the
Dripping
wrong
with
way to go about it.
blood and viscera.
Now, if you could just put him down, be a good little pussycat. Like, you want your face to be lopped off. That's all that
So
I
the
can
Doberman
say.
gang, they're not the brightest tools in the shed. They're a little sharper than a marble.
Nice. Solid. Holy shit. And I love that they're the Doberman gang because they're helping to try and calm down some cats.
Exactly.
So messed up. I love it.
I gotta say this too. Never in the history of calming down has a woman ever calmed down by being told to calm down.
Never. Don't ever say that.
No.
Look, and Amanda B can either yell at me for spilling the tea or back me up here. Don't ever say calm down if you want a woman to calm down. And certainly don't say something like, I hope that you go back and read this and see that there was nothing there. Because that's essentially calling someone crazy, and that's going to make them pretty pissy with you later. So, little things.
Basically, what you're saying is that women are just completely irrational. Understood.
It reminds me of Hancock, where she says, "Call me crazy one more time."
We can say it, okay? But when it comes from y'all, them's fighting words.
I totally get it.
Oh, Wolvie is enjoying the puns that are in your dialogue. He says, I thought they were pussies. I gotta point out that dialogue. That's good shit. And the replicator is right. Saying calm down is hilarious, though. Provided that you are at least far enough away from said person that you said it to that they can't quite reach you.
I was going to say, as soon as she starts closing on you with fists clenched, remind her that COVID says 6 feet. 6 feet.
Social distance.
That's right.
You can't get this close. It's against the law somewhere. It'll protect me, I hear. All right, so you've got a lot of really cool tiers, and for everyone who saw my tweet where I was talking about the gorgeous hardcover, it's because if a book has a hardcover, all other covers become obsolete to me. Like, hardcover or bust is my motto, and I got in on this while it was still there. They're almost half gone at this point, so like, hurry if you want a hardcover.
If you phrase it like that, as much as I love hardcovers, I'm always going to pick bust. Just saying.
Fair. I mean, if you literally said hardcover or bust, I'd be like, oh, maybe bust. Bust is pretty good. Okay. So I'm going to let you go through your perks because, like I said, you have a lot of them and they get kind of crazy.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. So I've got the Back It Without Reward. I think that I don't know if that's becoming passe, but I thought I would put it out there for my family because, they're not into comics. I made a digital tier available. Even though I personally don't like digital very much, I understand that a lot of people do. And some people are adverse to the shipping cost. If, for example, they're in Australia or Canada is an incredibly expensive, even from right here in Michigan, just across the border. So I wanted to make the digital tier available. So that's the $15 tier, and it's going to come with the that cover right there by Gilbert Monsanto.
Mm-hmm.
This then is the regular cover. It's $35, and I wanted to remind everyone that it's over 100 pages. So it's going to be perfect bound. And the regular cover right there has Siamese, Brick House, and Breathtaker.
Nice.
This variant is by the artist Arias Hernandez. Arias, I'm working with, he is a publisher in the Philippines. He has a 64-issue comic that he's already produced. And he's going to be working with me to get a campaign off the ground here in the States. He is a former Disney animator. He worked on Tarzan, The Lion King, and Kim Possible. So I think he was a good get.
Absolutely.
Oh, and this cover is an homage to a Teen Titans cover, by the way. If somebody recognizes and go, where have I seen that? That's where you saw it before. This is by Isaiah Xavier Bradley. He's working with me on another one of my projects. I've got 6 different projects in the work right now. I know that we're talking about Siamese today, but I got a lot going on, and he's working on one of them. I think that this cover is dynamic because although it's a still picture, the concrete shards are like jumping out at you, or it looks like they're flying out toward you. And he's great with the foreground, midground, and background too.
Yeah, there's a lot going on that one. I'm sorry, I'm getting feedback. I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from. Okay, I think we're good.
Okay.
It's coming
This
from
cover,
your face, Shae.
This cover is. Do you want to address that?
No, we're good. We're good. Just roll.
All right. So Bruno Hitano is working with me on a project that is AAT on steroids. And I say that because if you remember the old Marvel swimsuit editions, the project he's working on with me, he's one of 3 artists where they will be in poses like that, but they've forgotten their swimsuits.
Interesting thing to forget.
Yep. Get your audiences on that one, and I'll make sure it's abundantly clear that that's the case.
Yeah. Yep. We'll have to. I'm looking forward to seeing how you're going to do that.
They're doing really well with those too. I'll have to be honest.
Oh, I'm sure.
So this artist, Zilson Costa, he did the art for issues 3 and 4 of Siamese. So I couldn't very well have a bunch of variants and not ask Zilson to do one of the covers.
Yeah, I think it's really only fair. Not to mention that you get that unity across stories and stuff, where you have the interior artist, even if it's for one of the 4 mini stories, the interior artist also doing a cover, kind of unifies everything together a bit.
Thanks, I agree. Yeah, and he's great to work with too.
Awesome, that's a huge plus.
And then here's the hardcover that Shae was talking about. It's limited edition. There are 50 available at the tier, the featured tier. Okay, but if you pull that up, it'll say that there is 99. And the reason for that is when we get to the top tier, there's another group of them available as part of the large bundle. So I don't want to spoil it yet, but yeah, so there is a total of 100 available.
Nice. Yeah.
And as you can see, this is by Clayton and Corey Barton.
Get in on the Barton Brothers. I'm just saying. Warren said, I back the Barton Brothers hardcover and a poker chip. Hell yes, Warren. That is awesome.
Thanks, Warren. Yeah, I saw that you did. I appreciate it. So this tier is 1 copy of the softcover regular cover by Gilbert Monsanto. And that on the right is going to be a 12 by 18 metal print by Phoenix Animation.
Wow.
Now, he tweeted out a small version of it, I think he said it was a 4x6 version of it, just so he could show what it would look like on metal, and it looks phenomenal. But 12 by 18 is significant. I mean, that's going to be a bitch to mail, but I think the people are going to love it.
Oh yeah, it's really impressive when you see them, like, you know, so 11 by 17 is what a lot of people are doing comic book pages on. So you're talking an inch bigger on each side. So it's not quite 13 by 19, but that's giant. That is very large. So.
And it's of cover number 4, which has the girls in their werecat form. And the artist on that is a married couple out of Italy. They're called the Art of Puro. So the husband does the line artwork and the wife does the color art.
Oh, fantastic.
And then here is the ultimate kitty box.
Yep.
I'm
good.
Take that wherever you want to take that. So in the ultimate kitty box, you will get the regular cover, all 5 variants, yes, including the hardcover. You'll get the chibi stickers, a poker chip, the canvas print with art by Cy Lim, the co-creator of Siamese, the keychain, which, by the way, is a metal keychain, and 1 copy of all 12 comic books that Dojo Kun Comics has already published.
Damn.
So you get the entire back catalog of Dojo Kun Comics.
That is awesome.
I don't know if we'll have time to talk about them individually, but I will say that at least 2 of them are 100 pages each. that back catalog. So it's significant.
And that's for 300. So if you are interested in getting caught up on Dojo Kun,
The whole kitty caboodle.
oh my gosh, you so dad joked that. Oh,
I know. I'm sorry.
oh,
I'm
so
probably old enough to be your dad, Shae. So it's
well,
only fair.
my brother's old enough to be my dad too, so
Oh, okay.
it's fine.
All right.
My goodness. Are you sending them in a BCW box like this?
Yes, I am. And I plan to have some kind of, I haven't decided yet what art will be on that cover. I've got a couple on that slipcase. I mean, I've got a couple of things in mind. I've got one thing in the works, and I'm going to see if it works for this project. So I don't want to spoil that yet, but trust me, it will make it very clear that Siamese is included or encased in it.
Awesome. All right, and then you have add-ons, and I see that you just didn't want to hear me ask about it. So you just beat me straight out the gate with it.
Well, you asked on my previous appearance.
I did.
We did talk about that, and in fact, prompted me to really seriously consider it. And looky there.
Look. The ask I'll probably not receive, but sometimes you do, and it's great.
Doesn't hurt to ask, right?
So, is this the design that you're going with?
Yes.
Is it going to be like screen printed?
Or no, it's going to be. It's going to be embroidered on there. Yep.
Oh wow, that's impressive. Very cool. Oh my gosh. See, this is what happens. I made the comment that my brother was old enough to be my dad, and now everyone in the chat is like, well, "Oh, your brother's your dad."
But consider the source. That's Rob Arnold. Grandma. It's Rob Arnold, so that's where he would go right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course he would.
Uncle Dad.
Want to talk to my brother, cousin? These are adorable, by the way. These chibi stickers.
Alex Thompson did a great job on those. I'm probably, if I can swing the cost, I'm probably going to have him do all of my characters, but that's over 100 characters, so that's going to be, it's going to be a little spendy.
Awesome. How big are these, by the way?
It's going to come on a sheet like that. They're, I think, each 2x2.
Okay. That's not bad.
Actually, that sounds pretty small. I'm going to have to talk to the vendor and see if I can't get him 3x3 on a single sheet.
Okay. Somewhere between 2 and 3 inches.
Yep.
Sounds good. Okay. Siamese poker chip.
I went with the poker chip because I don't know how many of you know Rusty Gilligan. He's a great guy. He's really been great, like a mentor as far as comics go. He's been working with Marvel, DC, Image, Dark Horse through the years as an inker, and he was also a WWE wrestler and a child star on television. So he's got quite an IMDb background. But wow. He suggested this because he had a tier with poker chips. He said there was a number of people who bought those tiers just to get the poker chip and give the trading cards to their kids. It's like, well, all right, I'll put that out there.
Yeah, we've started seeing a lot more people do poker chips. And like, see, you got Warren right here. I dig that poker chip. He made sure to back to get that.
And I can show you that I've already got him.
Oh my goodness.
So
look at that. That's awesome. All right. Ooh, and then this is one that I almost went for, but I know how badly I beat up my keys, and I was like, that would make me so sad to destroy this.
Well, this is pretty durable, Shae, because it's not rubber or plastic, it's metal.
Nice.
It's enamel on metal. So yeah, with the Gilbert Monsanto pinup as the art.
I love that. And it's a really good design. It's really like unique and very fitting for this particular project and these sisters that, as we said before, are very close.
Yes. It's alluded to in the book. We'll go with that.
All right. And then the awesome canvas print.
Yes, Cy Lim, as I said, is the artist. He's from New Zealand. He is the artist for the company that's sort of like New Zealand and Australia's version of Amazon. It's called Mighty Ape. So he's an animator, and I gave him the concept, and he's the one who created Siamese as far as their visual. And he's got a lot of different styles. Just this one guy, he can go from the realistic comic look to this sort of partially cartoony look to a very cartoony look, and he's great at all three styles.
Oh, that's wonderful. I really like this. It's because it's borderline chibi, but not quite.
Right.
I love it.
It's very playful.
It's a lot. There's a lot of personality, and when you have two women who are cats, like you got to lean into it. Really, you got to lean into it, and that I'm like 99% sure in yoga what she is in right here in this back pose. That is the cat arch. Like I think it's specifically called it's like a cat dip, and then you have the cat back. That's awesome. And then Cy's favorite.
I can't imagine why.
I have no idea why.
So yeah, Siamese is there with
tail.
Yeah, they're helping her out with her modesty. But that's Deanna, Hammer of the Angels, the one I talked about a little while ago.
That's awesome.
But Bancroft was quick to note that she's choking her with her tail, though.
It's a little light BDSM. We don't shame. That's the younger one doing that too.
Some people are into that sort of thing.
Roll with it. Like she's obvious. She's not asphyxiating. She's good.
I could almost read on the older one's face just a little bit of the really.
She does have a little bit of that, just like though.
I got talked into being in this poster.
I didn't want to do this. I don't know why we're here. Okay, so your stretch goals.
Yes, I haven't decided on the number yet. And that was on advice of several people saying that, what you need to do is see what the pace of the campaign is going to be like before you decide on the numbers for the stretch goal. And I think that's great advice, because if you set them too low, are there really a stretch goal? I think the idea is you want to incentivize people to help the campaign get there. So I'm going to wait just a little bit to see where that's going to, set. But the first one here is going to be the 4 original covers with one caveat. The 4 original covers, issue number 3, which is on the bottom right of this graphic, had a character that was a crossover with another small press company. But I didn't have permission to use that character in this trade paperback. So I went and had my artist go through and replace that character with one of my own. So that cover right there has the Scarlet Archer instead of the original crossover. If you go back and get the floppies, you'll get the original crossover, but the trade paperback in all of its incarnations is going to have Scarlet Archer in it instead.
Awesome.
Then the next stretch goal will be 6x9 prints of all of 6 of the covers available here on the trade paperback.
Awesome.
The challenge coin is it's got a really fun history. It started out in the military, and they are rewarded to soldiers for either acts of valor or great achievements. My son has one, as a matter of fact. He's an airborne combat medic. These coins, real quick, if they're awarded to you, you need to keep it on your person at all times, or have it within 2 steps. Like, for example, if you're showering, you don't really have a pocket. But if someone comes in and puts their coin down on the shelf, you better be within 2 steps of your coin, or you're buying the next round at the bar.
I am so happy that you actually got all of that accurately.
Oh, thank you.
That's it's not done, depending on the career field, it's not done as often as it was back in the day. But especially when you go, like right now I'm in NCO Academy. If I was actually there in residence, I would make sure that I had 2 or 3 of those with me just in case, because whenever somebody decides to challenge you with their coin, so anytime somebody challenges by slapping it down on the table, it's always when there's like 30 or 40 people around, and that's a lot of beer to have to buy. It gets pricey really, really fast. So challenge coins are something that you always end up keeping on you, because if somebody throws it down, you're like, oh shit! It's like, no, I have it. Like, I wasn't the last one. Somebody else be the last one, please.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome. So are you doing this like embossed, debossed? Are you doing it where it's like an image with resin over the top?
No, it's going to be debossed. Yeah, it's going to be a raised image on the coin. Yep.
Nice.
Again, this is a stretch goal. It's kind of pricey, but I think we can get to a goal that would be manageable, and this is realistic to have as one of the goals.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. And then
this one might be a little crazy or lofty. An articulated action figure. I did the research. This is a very spendy goal. Yes. However, I can say that, and they have a 2,000 unit minimum to order these. Now, they're accommodating, because I asked them, can 1,000 of them be with a black tail and 1,000 with a white tail, so that I don't have to buy 4,000 of them? And they said, yes, they would do that for me.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, what I plan to do, if we get this far, and I'd feel very blessed if we did, but if we get this far, I plan to have both characters, both Siamese team members, in a single blister pack on a card.
Ooh.
So I've got plans.
So is that here's the question: is that going to be something that you would end up, if we ended up hitting whatever this goal ends up being, that you would include with everyone who'd previously backed physically, or is that something that you would open up for people to be able to purchase?
Oh, I see what you're getting at. No, this would be for those people who have backed the physical tiers. So it's a true stretch goal. Yep.
Wow, that's crazy. That's
well, if the minimum, Shae, if the minimum is 1,000 of them, if you think about it, it would be 1,000 blister packs, right?
Yeah.
In order to, I would have 1,000 of them available then.
That's true.
I think it would only be right for me to then make that available to those people who back the physical tiers.
I'm really curious to see just how high that's going to have to be. That would be amazing to get to. That would be absolutely phenomenal to get to. But I feel like that price is going to be. Whew. So if you guys really want something to hit that high, start sharing this out everywhere, because you are not going to have a whole lot of time to get people in to back this. For what I'm thinking, based on what I know about the prices of these things, how high that's going to have to be.
She's
but
not
that
wrong.
would be amazing. That would be amazing if you hit that. I like more stretch goals. The sky's the limit. Let's worry about getting these ones first. Yeah. Let's worry about the funding first. I think that you were really, really close to funding. So let's see. You were 93%. So it's gone up a little. It's refreshed in 95%. Fantastic.
Sweet. Thank you all so much. Wow. That's great.
253 away. 253 away from funded. That is not far at all. So if you were in the chat and you were wondering if you were going to back, you were kind of holding off, you weren't sure, go back now and be a part of it getting funded live. That would be amazing.
On the Red Valkyrie show, right?
Come on. You guys want it.
So that would mean that I would launch one of my favorite shows and get funded on one of my favorite shows. Booyah.
I'm just saying that would be really amazing. Passmaster Dan says the third day bump. It's the Valkyrie flight, Passmaster Dan. You have been here long enough. Right now it's like a Valkyrie hobble, but you're
hovering. It's a hover right now.
Yeah, it's that hole where they do the back flap, and so they just stay in one place.
Look. Sometimes you got to take a few steps, get the wings flapping. That's all I'm saying.
Have you ever seen those owls that'll like put their wings out and they look super aggressive and they do like 2 hops and then they put their wings back down? Yeah. That's kind of where we are right now. They were like,
psych.
We don't know yet. Yeah, and Frog G says, this is a solid campaign to back. The books are already written. Past Mr. Dan, don't call me mistress. That's so weird. The Valkyrie stumble step. That's where we are right now. It's okay. I believe in you guys. I want to see this number definitely get higher. And
Frog G, I appreciate the support there, but let me just make it clear that they're not only written, they're completely done. All I have to do is send the print files to the printer. This book is done. I will fulfill, I think, before I say so in the campaign. So in the campaign, I say that this will fulfill by September. But I think that the only thing that has the longest lead time are some of the stretch goals. Like, for example, I mean, if we get all the way to get that top stretch goal, that's going to have the longest lead time. I think they told me 4 weeks. But if this campaign launches in early April, I go 30 days to early May and a second 30 days to early June, right? I'll go in demand at that point.
Mhm.
I see no problem with fulfilling by September.
I highly doubt that would be an issue to fulfill by September. And the cool thing is, because you're looking at the 30 plus 30 and then, you know, whatever stretch goals you can end up getting, that gives us a good amount of time to try and hit some of those really awesome stretch goals. It also gives people, because you've got that 30 days to get in your fan art. So
Right.
that's another thing that's really kind of awesome. So if you're an artist out there and you like any of these characters, if you are so inclined, do up a really awesome fan art and see if you can't get featured in that fan art section of the book. That would be a great way for people to kind of see your stuff. It's also very different when you see your stuff in print. So, you know, you're over here doing what you do and enjoying it, but being able to pick up a book and go, there's a piece of my work in here. Even if it's a piece of my work that I willingly gave to the person and they said okay and put it in, it's still awesome to see it in there. So that's something that I would highly recommend. Death Metal Hero fan art, you say? Yes, Luke, there is a fan art section in this book, and you have at least through the first 30 days to get it in. So it's another 27 days. There's another 27.
I'd like to segue into something else that I personally appreciate, and that is what you're doing right now, Shae. Could you scroll down a little bit for me? Scroll down to a little bit further. Right there. So Shae is known for this, but I got to say, I truly appreciate it. Shae is dressed as my character, Gemstone. So Gemstone is in the elitist supergroup called the Elitists. They're a group of supervillain CEOs. Gemstone is stronger than the average person, but she's also invulnerable to harm. So she can't be, her skin can't be pierced, she can't be crushed, and the extremes of temperature do her, you know, she doesn't even notice.
Nice.
So she's a badass chick, and Shae is cosplaying a badass chick.
I like it. And I was saying this to Brian. I don't know why. I always pick the villains. I always like, no matter what. I'm like, oh, they look so interesting. I'll be this one. And it's like, oh yeah, that's one of my villains. I'm like, of course it is. It's fun. I'm embracing it. I'm just evil at heart. That's what it really is.
What was it you said, Cy? I think you said villains have more fun.
They do, because the restrictions are off. I mean,
that's right. Kingpin said it
if you're
best.
Not worried about morality and law, then you know.
Well, Kingpin said it best to Daredevil. He said, "I only have to win once."
That's true. That is very true. Damn. See, and they play into my love of being just a little bit lazy. That's wonderful. I'm super down for it. So guys, we are $253 away from funded. And that's within the first 3 days. That's insanity. I really want to see this hit funding sooner rather than later. And I'm just saying, we're about halfway gone of that Barton Brothers hardcover variant. You all know you want it hard. Come on now. Let's just be real. I'm just going to be honest with you. All right. So while I wait for our chat to come up with their questions, although I will say I am going to highlight one because it was brutal. So Replicator wants to know, who do you like more, Rob or Blousecroft?
I have a slightly complicated answer to that, Rob. There was a time where I would have immediately shouted Team Lucent. However, there was a de-wrenching recently. I was on the side. I was on the side of B Rose, and my side temporarily lost. It's under what's it called? Appeal. But so you know what? Team Robocopter.
Oh, this is what happens over here. Is we just poke fun at Bancroft as much as possible on this show.
That's right, Black Rose. Justice for B Rose.
Justice for B Rose. Yeah, hilarious. Okay, so while the chat is figuring out what their questions are about this awesome Replicator Rebels, I can't with you guys. What questions you may have about this campaign? You had mentioned as part of this campaign that if you wanted to go for the Ultimate Siamese Kitty Box, you get a whole bunch of the Dojo Kun back catalog. Did you want to show some of that?
Yeah, I'd love to. Thank you. Let me go to my website. If you could share that, I'll skip down some of the stuff that we can talk about at another time. But here's the back catalog right here. So these are the 4 issues of Siamese. You can see the crossover guest star is still on number 3 because that's still available in that incarnation. These then are the other ones available. Now, I'm sure that those of you who can do math, even if you're on a stream, you see 9 books here. So 4 plus 9 is 13, not 12. So let me jump right down here to the loved ones. This is 2 covers for the same book. David Whalen, the owner of Correct Handed Productions, because he's a southpaw, he wrote the concept. I wrote the comic book, and then he did the art and lettering for this one. It's 100 pages, black and white horror adventure. And so the one that will be available in the Ultimate Kitty Box will be the one that you would get if you bought it from Dojo Kun Comics. If you'd like to get his version of the cover, it's over here. That one won't be in the Kitty Box. Okay. So that's why. So that's minus that one of these 8. Toro Tales is an anthology book. It's got 4 different stories starring Sparrow, Lone Shark, Bot 42, and then these 2 are Halia and Ondine, better known as H2O. The Toro, by the way, is the stone lantern in my company's logo. Issue number 2 is already well underway. It's coming soon. That one won't be part of the Kitty Box because it's not published yet. That one is it's going to be 100 pages at least because there's 12 stories in that one, starring different characters and different artists and writers, not just me, as far as the writing goes. So Night Miss and the Scarlet Archer, 2 different tales in this one, which is sort of harkens back to the day when Marvel had both like Hulk and Iron Man in the same issue, or Submariner and Doctor Strange, things like that. Alliances is my team-up book. Breathtaker will be the star of Alliances each time, and there'll be like a rotating guest star, much like either Marvel 2-in-1 or Brave and the Bold did back in the day. And Breathtaker is this gal right here.
Nice.
Dojo Kun Comics Annual Compendium is a lot like the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, so you'll get a full page or a full pose color picture of each of the characters, and like I said, I have over 100 of them. So you'll get their stats, their power set, their history, their first appearance, and their origin. The Mad King is a 3-issue miniseries. You see that there's just 2 right here because issue number 3 is still being worked on. David Whalen, the concept and artist for The Loved Ones, did the cover of number 1. Number 2 is the covers by Annette Bell, and Annette is the interior artist. She painted every panel of these 2 issues, and she's working on the 3rd one.
Oh wow!
These three comics, The Loved Ones and Mad King, are not part of the connected superhero universe. They're standalone stories. I Am Become Death will eventually become part of the connected superhero universe, but it's a standalone story right now. It was originally a prose novella, and I reached out to the author and asked, could I do a graphic novel version of it? Now, it's a pretty short story. It's only 12 pages in comic book form. So what I did to beef it up and make it 22 pages is I added a professional pinup gallery of Breathtaker.
That's awesome.
Other comics that will soon be available are Maygun War, which we can talk about at another time because that's sort of very separate. But it's by the guy who did the variant cover, Arias Hernandez. Deanna, Hammer of the Angels is the miniseries I talked about that will be coming out subsequent to Siamese. And then here's the team book I talked about that will have, Siamese is in it, Deanna's in it, and several other characters that are introduced in their miniseries.
Man, you got a lot in the works.
Yes,
I do. A lot going on.
I mean, coming up, there will be Maygun War, like I said. I've got merch. I've got a trading card set that I'm working on with Dave Brink, the author, creator of Perfect 10. And I have a license with this author. She's an award-winning author of this trilogy called The Healing Wars. It's mostly aimed at young adults, but I would liken it to either Divergent or maybe The Hunger Games, in that the protagonist is a young woman, and boy, does she go through trials and tribulations. But this one is also in the works. I won't dwell on it long, but it's called The Shifter. Someday I'll ask to come back on your show and talk about this one. But as you can see, the art is by Zilson Costa, who did issues 3 and 4 of Siamese and one of the variant covers. Phenomenal art.
That is impressive. You have a lot going on.
And lastly, one more thing. Sound like Columbo. K Manifesto and I, you may remember him from a lot of the chat. He and I are starting our own streaming channel 2 weeks from tonight. It's called the K Manifesto Show with Dojo Kun Comics.
Fantastic. We got people over here. Back Today, Friend. This is a great book. Amanda B also recommends it hard. Just saying. Eric McIntyre is asking if these are available for purchase. So they are on Dojo Kun's website, the ones that are out, but you can also get them at that Extreme Kitty Box tier that I'm just saying, if you wanted that back catalog and decided to back at this level right here, you would push him to funded and then some. So
yes, that's right. Thank you. Yeah, just putting up the flagpole, see what happens.
Just saying. And Eric McIntyre is asking, so what channel was that you were going to be on? I believe you said it was K Manifestos.
Right. Yeah. So if you're going to search for it on YouTube, you look for K Manifesto, and he's got a promo video out there already. Give you an idea what it's going to be about. And
awesome. And Eric McIntyre says, but I want them now. But Eric, you could also be the person that gets him funded. I'm just saying, you could be a hero right now. You could get them and the Siamese trade paperback and all of the goodies that are in that. And yes, you'll have to wait just a little bit of time, but you would make this man over here so supremely happy as he would hit funding on Red Valkyrie. I'm throwing it out there. I'm just saying. Just saying, Eric.
I don't discourage that at all.
Hell, Shae, I mean, ma'am. That's going back to a tweet from earlier. I said something about being 6'1" and getting SIR'd a lot because people don't pay attention to form. They just pay attention to height. So I get SIR'd all the time. I was SIR'd in a low-cut dress with the girls on display, and they were like, have a good day, sir. And I went, like, really?
Yeah,
and he
right.
goes, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm like, yeah. I'm See, look, delayed gratification, it's so much more rewarding. I'm just saying, Eric.
Build up the tension.
A little bit of anticipation.
The release is good. When you open the box.
The hardcover. The hardcover.
Right. Amanda's got the idea.
Oh, Frog G says, look at all the swag that you won't get by going to Dojo Kun Comics and getting these back issues. You will get in that kitty box. Just saying. And Past Master Dan is saying it was the moment that Eric realized fate had chosen him.
Look at what Pedro Ang says. You need to start shouting at people, it's ma'am!
It's ma'am! No, I refuse to. When people say, like, have a good day, sir, I'm like, yeah, you too! And they're like, oh gosh. It's like, that's your own fault. Look up.
I want to speak with your manager.
Your manager.
Yeah.
It came out of Festo. Are we talking comics still? We are. We're talking about the wonderful release you get when you finally get that collected box of beautiful comics. You get to thumb through those pages yourself. Just saying.
Stroke the velvety soft.
Gently caress each cover. Look, there's a lot that you can do. I'm just saying. I love this black rose.
Buy
Like,
the
oh
comic.
god.
We're dripping with innuendo.
It's happening. It's happening.
But hey, so is Siamese.
Right? We're just really on brand right now. That's what it is. We're really on brand at the moment.
It's like you said earlier, you got to lean into it.
Exactly. Just, don't shy away from it. Just go with it. You know you want to. All right. So for the Siamese universe, this is 4 mini-stories. What are you planning on after this?
Okay, so Siamese, the miniseries, will lead into Deanna, Hammer of the Angels, the miniseries. It'll also be 4 issues. And then all the characters introduced in those 2 4-issue miniseries will come together in Trident's New Alliance. So that's going to be it's going to start out as an 11-character team, 8 of whom are women. So, 8 of them are women. So then the initials of Trident's New Alliance kind of makes sense if you think about it. Wait for it.
TNA, Shae.
Thank you, Sai.
I wasn't going. I was dripping with innuendo in the chat. That's where my brain was.
Okay.
The Amazing Alliance of Titans.
I could have gone with that too. Thanks, Sai. That's a good idea.
You're welcome.
Oh my god.
So in the connected superhero universe, there will be spin-offs too.
Okay.
So like for instance, Alliances, the one that stars Breathtaker. Breathtaker comes from, issue number 2, 3, and 4 of Siamese. And she'll also be in the miniseries for Deanna, Hammer of the Angels. Now I think about it a minute. So these characters will be reoccurring. The villains will be back. So yeah, I'm going to build on it. And I'm going to have to say that the writers that I'm emulating, to be perfectly transparent, I'm going to try to write them such that they're a family, that they've got internal conflict. Even with your best friends, you say, hey, you know what? You're an asshole right now. I hate you.
Yeah.
8 women together, you're going to write internal conflict a little bit.
So,
if you don't, it's I'm calling fake news. There's no way. I can't.
No,
I
it's all
can't get me and
pillow
2 other females to hang out together without it being like, I didn't appreciate when she said this, and you're like, oh, good fuck.
Pillow fights
we
and
don't
group
hang
bath
out?
scenes and showers.
There's none of that. There's a whole lot of when they go to the bathroom and be like, this bitch. Okay, I seriously like
all the hot water.
Just wanted to go and get margaritas. That's all that I fucking wanted to do. Why do you make it hard?
She's dipping her nails.
Oh, okay, I'm done. So this is a huge campaign that has a lot of really, really good kind of starting base for the greater Dojo Kun verse that you've got going. And I really think everyone is going to enjoy everything that you can get in this campaign. There's just far too much awesomeness that you have packed in here, and you've done a very good job. Like, there are a lot of variant covers, which normally is a little bit off-putting, especially on our first campaign. But I think the fact that we know that there's so many, like you have 4 stories that are combined in here, and there's a bunch of different artists that have been involved at different stages and for different things, plus a couple of big names that you were able to get that did awesome work. I think that it just kind of, it feels okay here. It doesn't feel overwhelming or frustrating. Like it feels like, no, that's solid. And I'm not going to lie, that hardcover is freaking epic. The way that they've kind of depicted, yes, the mask is painted on. That's what happens when you go, I could try and cut this out, but I know it's going to look like I cut it out and it's going to be shit. So we're just going to paint it on my face. Fun thing, I used this cheap ass shit and I might actually be dyed red now. So we'll see. It's still on my finger and that's after washing it. So we'll see what happens.
Now, that's commitment to cosplay. That's what I'm saying.
I might actually have to wake up early enough to put on a full thing of base and concealer so I can sit at my military training without having a red mask.
Shae, why'd your background change?
Just don't ask.
Okay.
Passmaster Dan says, how long has Dojo Kun Comics been working in the comic book field?
I've actually been professionally working in the comic book field since 2014.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a little while. It's not been decades.
8th year.
Yes.
I did the math.
Good job.
On stream, you did math. So that's walking the edge right there.
Right.
It's fine. I love to troll Bancroft's chat when he tries to do math, and I'm like, Bancroft, like, just look at what I typed. It's that. It's just this. Stop trying to. That's awesome. And the thing is, I feel like it really shows because you have a pretty expanded universe right now, and the fact that you have them all kind of interconnected and intertwined, that's awesome. I think that it lends a lot to the storytelling and the fact that you're going to get a lot more immersion than in some of these other campaigns where we're just starting out. We got 1 book, we got 2 characters. That's it, So that I'm really excited about it. Yes, Passmaster Dan, I might be literally red. I'll post an update on Twitter after I slough off 3 or 4 layers of skin. Yeah. So have you had to adjust your business model because of COVID?
Actually, no. If anything, I'd say that I was able to do more because of COVID, because for my day job, my daily commute one way was 2 to 2.5 hours. So the fact that I'm working from home now means when I sign out, bam, I can get to my comic book production. I don't have a 2.5 hour wait to get home to start working on it.
That is awesome. Yeah, I can see it going either way. I know for me, working from home has not been as helpful as I would like for my main job. But when it comes to streaming, it's great because I'm already here. So
yeah, exactly.
At lunch, I can be like, what cosplays do I need to get together? As opposed to being stuck somewhere. Silver's not impressed by you doing math, Sai. You have math circuits, so. And 153 away from being funded, yes, because when Shae does math on stream, she's wrong by $100. So you are very close, very, very close. And,
or is what he's saying that we've got maybe some more backers? Possibly.
No, I realized after you typed it that I was just an idiot. Yeah, because it's 35, not 36.
Okay.
So yeah, you're 153 away, which is nothing. That is so little. I'm just saying. You want this.
And you want those stretch goals.
Hell yes. There's really good stretch goals in here. Do you have any other little tidbits that you would like to let us all know about before we wrap up?
I think we've touched on them all without getting into some really detailed stuff. So,
Alex, do you have any questions?
No, but I do have a suggestion. Okay, I love the look of the comic. your campaign page is laid out, please think about doing a little bit higher res on the images you're putting on that campaign page, because as I went to pull, I noticed that everything aliased and pixelated really quickly, and I think it would do more justice to the art that's in your campaign itself to see what you can do to take those from better resed up images.
Okay, thank you. I'll definitely consider doing that.
Past Mr. Dan says no patch talk or trees. Dan, were you asleep? We talked patches. Brian preempted the patch conversation by saying there's patches as add-ons. And the only downside that I had to that is you can add on one patch. And I was trying to get two. So we'll talk.
Oh.
Because when you add it on, there's no drop down to pick how many you would want. There's just the patch. And I think that's more of an Indiegogo side of things, but you can't back the same add-on perk multiple times without backing the campaign multiple times.
Oh, well, you could just go do that.
Could you add the patch to the $5 tip jar?
I could do that too. Yeah, which is, like I said, I think it's an Indiegogo thing more than anything. But you are very close to funded. It's okay. It's okay, Dan. It's fine. As long as you're being responsibly high, enjoy yourself, sir. Although we didn't ask the tree question on this show. So, Brian, if you could be any tree, what tree would you be and why?
Given the fact that I'm only about 5'5", I would pick a redwood.
I thought you were going to go with bonsai, like
no.
small and on brand.
If I get to pick, I'm going to go with the big, intimidating one.
Nice.
Because you know what, Shae, my fiance is much taller than me, so
good for you and for her. Does she wear heels?
Sure, when she wants to.
For her, hot damn.
Just out of curiosity, how tall is she?
She's 5'11".
Nice.
And you're 5'5"?
Yeah, about 5'5".
Okay, so if we scale that up, that would be 6'1", 2, 5, 7.
Which is this? Yeah, I love when you have taller women that are not afraid to wear heels, because I am a taller woman and I almost exclusively own heels with the exception of skate shoes and my combat boots. Everything else are heels. So good on her, and I'm glad that she doesn't let being taller than her man deter her, because why would you?
Yeah, heck no.
Number
one, she's not taller than me when we're next to each other in bed, and number two, slow dancing is a lot of fun. So just saying.
I'm sure. I know exactly where your head falls, sir.
Let me just say that hugs from significantly taller women are amazing. She's rolling her eye. You can't blush with that makeup.
I'm not blushing. It's just smearing. You just don't see. It's fine. Shut up. So that is as good a point as any. Oh, past Master Dan. He looks up to her, but nice. So thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. This campaign looks phenomenal, and you are so close to funded. It's definitely going to happen soon here. I'd be shocked if it took too much longer. Refresh one more time.
Thanks so much for having me on. Your show rocks. I love being in the chat. I love that you had me on a second time. I appreciate it. And as other things come up, some of these projects, I'll hit you up and see if you got time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much to Alex for all of your work getting this stuff set up today while I was in class. I really appreciate that.
Alex, I appreciate you coming and doing this despite your current condition.
Yes.
It means a lot.
I kind of made a promise to Shae when she carried the show by herself for months that if it was at all possible, unless death had entered my body, I was not going to make her do that again. So.
Oh. I tried to get Cy to just go lay down and sleep off the pain, but it did not work.
Nope.
Well, thank you guys so much to the chat for hanging out, and to everyone who backed during the show. You guys are amazing as always, and go share this out. This definitely deserves the attention, and this is a phenomenal looking mini series that's collected in just a beautiful trade paperback. So I highly encourage you all to go look it up. And at the last minute, thank you very much, K Manifesto, for the $5. This is a great show. Shae and Alex, congrats, and good luck to Brian.
Thanks, K Manifesto. Appreciate it.
You are awesome, sir. Don't forget, K Manifesto. When are you going to be on his show?
We are co-hosts of that show, and we launched 2 weeks from tonight.
Oh, fantastic. All right. So 2 weeks from tonight, make sure that you go and you're checking out the show with K Manifesto and Brian for Dojo Kun Comics. That's going to be awesome.
Just saying, you can open 2 YouTubes at a time so you don't miss our show as well.
That's right.
Just throwing that out there.
Assuming that we have a show next Thursday, do we?
Assuming.
I don't know if we do. If not, we're not going to. We'll move it to Wednesday. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, and we will catch all of you absolutely wonderful people later.
Bye all. Thank you.